Hi everyone, in this tutorial we are going to learn about CSS font class and ID and the differences between class and ID, CSS pseudo classes, and lastly a little bit of CSS animation. I already created a folder and index.html, and I already opened the web page by using package Atom Live Server. So let's just get started. Let's just type HTML and hit enter. And I'm gonna just type content here so that we can check. So I always check the web page is correctly opened. And let's play with this content. I was a little bit confused about what kind of content I would use, so I searched about most famous short classic poems, and I particularly liked number 10, a poem about dream. So why don't we use this as our content? Okay, so I think I'm just gonna copy and paste this into this. Okay. And let's take a look. Okay, we have the content now, and I believe this is title, so I think I'm just going to use H1. For the author name, I think I'm just going to use paragraph. Maybe like this. The other one, paragraph. I believe this is one paragraph, and this is the second one. So I think I'm just gonna copy and paste this one here. The other one. Like this. Okay. It seems good to me. Okay. All seems great to me except for the line change here. As you can see, there is a line, right? So line change. In HTML, we call it line breaker. So we can just use BR tag to change the line. So I think I'm gonna quickly add that. And seems great. Why don't we add some style to this content? So let's create a CSS file. This time, I think I'm going to create slightly differently. So I think I'm just going to create file, but technically I create folder and file at the same time. So CSS/ and style.css. So as you can see, I create a folder and file at the same time. And let's make sure that we link the CSS file to this HTML page. So I think I'm gonna just hit link and enter. Once again, I wanna emphasize that this will cause lots of issues in server part. So I think I'm gonna just take this one out. So this is good, CSS folder first, and then we named the style sheet with style CSS, right? And okay, I think we are ready. Let's take a look at the plan today, the note today. And here, why don't we talk about serif and sans serif styles? And here, so I think I'm just gonna grab the body tag, so the entire content, and I'm gonna change the font family to one of these three: monospace, sans serif, and serif. So first of all, I'm gonna use sans serif because I believe this is serif style font. So let's just try and save. This is sans serif style, and let's take a look. This is serif style. So let's take a look at those styles. Okay, so in the slide, we can see the differences between serif font and sans serif styles. This decorative feature is called serif style. And this one, it doesn't have it. It looks very modern, right? So this sans serif font means a font style without this serif. Okay, let's use another one, monospace, and save. So if you choose monospace, every letter has the same space. For example, this space is the same as this space as well. The whole characters are aligned in a grid. This font style is very effective when you show your code. I just wanted to mention it. But mostly, just you choose sans serif or just serif. For now, I'm going to use serif. Let's get back to index.html. Let me arrange my windows so that I can see HTML and CSS at the same time. We can also choose some specific font. Let's take a look at web safe fonts. Here, let's take a look at this slide. So these are web safe fonts. Most of web fonts can be used without importing it. So let's try one of them, Verdana. So here is save. So this is Verdana font. What about we try Times New Roman? So this is Times New Roman font. And what about we try something different? Arial black, maybe? Okay. I'm going to put a typo intentionally and we'll see what happens. And as you can see, since the font is not loaded correctly, so now you see some default font, right? Since we have used common web fonts, we just wrote down the font name, but it should be actually wrapped with single quotation marks or double quotation marks. Either works. But the thing is, so right now, I try to use this font, but maybe because of the typo or because of the internet issue, there is possibility to fail to import this certain font. And to be safe, you can add sans serif very at the end. So you try to load this font. If it fails, you load the second one. So let's just try. Now, so we couldn't load Arial black, but it still keeps the font style sans serif, right? Let's just fix this one. Okay, and let's add one more thing. So first, we are going to try to load Helvetica. Let's type Helvetica first, and Arial black and sans serif. So as you can see, now I'm seeing the font Helvetica. And for example, if I make a typo here, and the second one, Arial black, it will be used. And if we fail to load this one, so it will be seen with the style, the default style in sans serif. I want to point out once again that the web font can be used without quotation marks. But for better practices, I would encourage you guys to use single or double quotations mark for font names, since we will be using some other fonts from somewhere else, such as Google Fonts. So web-safe fonts are limited and we would like to use much nicer and various fonts, right? So here, I think I'm gonna just get to Google Font, and here this is a web page named font.google.com, and you can browse various fonts and choose what you like. You can choose multiple of them. You can search a specific font you have worked with, and also you can check those fonts with your own text. I actually love the font Roboto, so why don't we take a look at this? This is Roboto, and there are many font weights as well. If you want to select this font, you can just click it. And one font family is selected, Roboto. If you click Customize here, regular font weight is selected, but I would like to have a font weight 700 bold, but also light or thin, maybe light. Okay, 3. But if you select many of them, the loading time of the font will be slow. So you don't want to load a bunch of them, just add what you really need. Okay, and we can get back to embed tab, and we can just copy and paste this HTML tag link into our HTML page. Since we are going to use the font in our style, so I believe it's better idea we copy and paste this here so that the font is loaded first and then it can be used in our own style. And so we can still keep these two. I think I'm gonna add Roboto here. You can also double check here how to add the font in CSS. So font family Roboto. We are already familiar with this, right? So here, I think I'm just gonna say Roboto. Once again, we are gonna try to load Roboto font first. If it's failed to be loaded, Helvetica will be tried, and nothing is loaded, default sans serif will be shown. Okay, that seems great. We can also try to use different font weight. Since we loaded 300, 400, and 700, we can specify it, 300. Let's save it and take a look. It's thin, right? But also we can try 400 and save, and 700 and save, right? Let's just remove this just for now. This is how to use Google Font, but you might want to use multiple fonts on your website, right? So I think I'm gonna still choose Roboto. And okay, let's try to add this one and let's take a look. Customize. I want the light one and really bold one. Okay, and so I will keep this just for now and we'll try to take a look at different font. I'm interested in using Clemson text. So let's just try to add this one, and I can also customize as well. I like regular italic too, and Okay, I'm just gonna use these two. Okay, let's go back to this. It's the same thing. You can just copy and paste this updated link tag into our HTML page. So glimpse text and Roboto font both are added to our HTML page. And then this is how to use it in CSS. So for example, let's just try to use glimpse text. I'm just going to copy and paste. And here, I'm going to comment this one out just for now. Okay, this seems great too. Okay, this is how to use Google Font. And we are going to learn about how to use class and ID. First, we are going to use class. I think I'm just going to keep this one just for now, but I'm going to bring this one back. And Helvetica, I don't need it anymore. So Roboto is our default font. And here, the heading. If you'd like to change the font of heading, it's really easy. You can just grab H1. You can just select H1 tag, right? So here, and I think I'm going to just use this font. Okay, and I'm going to make sure that once there is a problem of loading this, actually font will be shown. And this small one, right? And the small one, I want it a little bit smaller and lighter. But then they all are paragraph. So if we change this main text will be changed too. So the way is we name this paragraph with class name, and we only apply certain style on this. So let's use class and we name it. I'm gonna name it author. And I think I'm gonna use author, but this is a class name, so we need to put a period at the beginning of this name. So you only select this tag with class name author. Let's just try to make the font size a little bit smaller. And let's make the color is just color. I think I want to change this font too with crimson text, and I forgot to add a semicolon. Yeah, so yeah, it seems great. Since we loaded the italic style as well, so why don't we try to use it? It seems good. I want to align this text to center. So the whole text, let's use the text align and center, save. It seems better to me. And let's play with this. For now, I think I'm just gonna demonstrate how to use classes. So I will add random styles onto this text. So please don't mind about the visual, but let's just see how the class name can be utilized. Okay, so here I think I'm going to have highlight. And for highlight, I would like to change the background color. What's good? Light pink. And the highlight style can be added here. I think hold fast. So what about we wrap it with span and we add the class name, and here highlight, save. This is highlighted. Okay, so what about we also have another styles too, so class, and I will say bold, and the font weight will be changed to bold, or you can also specify 700 since we I think 900 we added it when we add the font. So bold. So if you wanna make it, if you wanna apply the bold style, I'm gonna use a span too. And the class name and bold and die. This is now in bold. Okay, what about also we add italic as well? And font style, I think italic. So type is a broken winged bird. I would like to apply italic to that. So I'm gonna grab that too. And apply the class name. But also feel free to add any other style as well. Okay, interestingly, we can apply multiple styles to one tag. Let's see, live Japan field. So let's just try here. So span. So here class, and this time I'm gonna use everything. It should be bold and italic and highlighted. So let's take a look. So it's bold and italic and highlighted. You can also use multiple selectors with class names. Let's try bold and italic. And font size, I want to make it really big, 30 pixel, and save. For the class name, it doesn't have to be styled like bold, italic, highlight. It can be just like dream. So what about we also have very specific effect for the words dream? Okay, so I think I'm just gonna name it dream. I'm gonna make it really large, 30 pixels once again. This one I'm gonna just take out because I just wanted to introduce this method to you. And dream font size, and there is an interesting property text decoration, and we can try to use overline. So dream, I'm gonna grab it with span and closing tag span. Here class name dream, save. So let's just try font weight, and this time the light one, maybe 300, and this, since this is a class, this can be reused it. I'm gonna apply here too. Okay, and I think it's a little bit large, so I'm gonna decrease the size a little bit. Okay, and live. So what about we also also create a class name life, and the font size would be the same, but font weight and also light. And I'm gonna also use text decoration and maybe so line through, and the font color would be gray. And we haven't applied it yet, so let's grab, where is the life? Okay, life. I'm gonna use another span here and close the span, and the class name is life and the life. Okay, and I'm gonna use it to here as well. Okay, broken wing. I just wanna add the style to this and actually these words instead of life. So I think I'm just gonna change the name and maybe in a way week, and so it should be week and it should be gone and it should be applied here, and let's grab and also this part too, and class name week, close, and then let's make sure we have to close the span tag. Okay, so life is a broken winged bird and a barren field. Okay, life, I would like to make it a little bit more vivid, so here life once again. I'm going to change the color to green and the background color light yellow. I'm not sure if we have it or not. I think I'm going to just take this one, this random span, and we'll add span, close the span, and the class name is life. I'm going to have exactly the same thing onto this. Once again, we'll remove this random one, and yeah, seems good to me. Yeah, life. I would like to also change the font family to this. Let me just try. I know the layout becomes really messy, but yeah, I think it's fun to mess around. Okay, so life, the font family was crimson text, right? And I'm gonna make sure if there is a problem, it uses serif font. Okay, this seems weird but interesting. Okay, so this is how to use class, and then we haven't talked about ID. I'm gonna use ID, but also at the same time I'm gonna discuss about the differences between class and ID. So here, as you can see, once we create a class name, the class name can be used multiple times here and there, as you can see. If you use an ID name, it is suggested to use it only once in HTML page. So if you'd like to add special styles to only one HTML element, using ID is still a good option. However, in most cases in CSS, using class is much more convenient. But simply, I wouldn't really recommend using ID in CSS. Anyway, let's just try to use it. Snow. So we have snow. Okay, I think the font color would be white. And I think I want to add background color and gray, darker gray maybe. We just create an ID name, snow, and let's try to use it here. It's the same, so span, and here close and span. And here you can say ID instead of class and put the name and save. And now you can change the styles with no ID. Let's also play with the frozen as well. I'm just going to say frozen and color white and background color light blue, and the same thing we wrap with span and the ID name and frozen. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, as you can see, applying too much style and font shapes wouldn't return successful output, but however, I definitely encourage you to explore in this way and then choose some style you find it useful and beautiful. So what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to take out this and we'll make it really simple. So, okay, it seems great. I think I'm gonna start over and then we'll try to use pseudo classes and a little bit of CSS animation. Okay, so I think I'm gonna drop the paragraph and then we'll make the font smaller and thinner. Interestingly, there is a very special unit, EM, so let's just try. So 1 EM is technically 16 pixel. The advantage of using this unit is you can change the font size like percentage value. So for example, you double the size, right? But also you can decrease it. So this is 100%. What about if you want to have the font size 80%? And something like this. So for example, 2 EM is 32 pixel. I like it a little bit small, so I'm gonna just put 80%. Okay, I would like to make the weight a light 300. Okay, and I didn't really talk about the line height yet, but feel free to explore. And so right now, this is the font size, and I can just have I can just have the doubled line height, and you can see a little bit more space, right? I think I want to have a little bit more. Okay, it seems great to me. Okay, and now I'm going to apply the trim style, but in a different way. So let's just try. So for example, I can make a link, right? So here I can say A, right? And close A. A stands for anchor, and we can add hyperlink. And just for now, I'm not going to put any hyperlink, but what you can see is now the word dreams becomes clickable, right? And so for a tag, you can just apply certain style and you can also take out the underline too. Great. And so this is called pseudo classes. So with a tag, you can have hover classes and the color becomes something else. For example, and you can also bring the underscore once again. Okay. You can also do exactly the same thing with class name as well. So I'm gonna just comment this one out. So we are not gonna use this. Okay. And here, this a tag, I'm gonna add class name for this a tag. So class, and this is dream. We already created. So this is it. And let's take a look. It seems great, and I don't like this purple color, so I think I'm gonna just change the color to black. Okay, this seems great. And it's the same thing. If you would like to have the mouse over event, you just call the class name and use hover. Then maybe I would like to change these to properties, hot pink, and then much larger. Okay. And so between these two, you can create certain animation by using transition. As you can see, the size of the font will be changed, right? So you just grab the property and give time, second. Let's take a look. Okay, you can also give half second, right? What about we also apply exactly the same thing? Okay, it's much natural because it shrinks down. Okay, that's it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Bye bye.